Ottawa and Canada in general. Today we're talking about Saab-Gripen, another edition of the Saab-Gripen and the debate over whether Canada should acquire the F-35As or the Saab-Gripen. Now, one thing I need to caution a lot of Canadians about is there seems to be an increasing propaganda warfare on the F-35s. There's more and more publications trying to either outright say that considering the Saab-Gripen is ridiculous, that it's a waste of time, the F-35 is superior, it's going to be better for NORAD and all this kind of stuff. And if you follow actually where these publications are based in primarily, is the United States. For example, let's take this particular article. Why is the U.S. worried about Canada's and Europe's aircraft manufacturing talks? And it goes on to have a very interesting article. But then let's go and start to scroll down this page and go to Contact Us. Now, if we go to Contact Us and we start to scroll down again and go to About Us, you'll see it's owned by this company called Valnet. And there's these editors and stuff like that. Looks relatively international, but let's go down and keep scrolling down, looking at the advertising, seeing where this publication is really from. Okay, so now we're getting into sort of the advertising area. And look, so they have one office, I guess, in Montreal and in Halifax, and then its primary operations seem to be in the United States, Miami, New York, Virginia. So it's a multinational type publication with substantive headquarters, apparently it seems, United States. So people who are looking at this F-35 debates, I have found that all the publications which are trying to advocate for the F-35s should be absolutely being purchased rather than F-35. They're all seem to be publications substantively, if not entirely, based in the United States, multinational interests trying to support that agenda. So that's what people need to be looking at when you start to look at this debate on the Saab-Gripen and the sovereignty issues. This article did talk about some of the issues, but they says, NORAD needs to be focused on the ability of the Saab-Gripen to be interchangeable with NORAD defense needs, and whether the Saab-Gripen is more suited to the Arctic is moot, it's just a distraction. We should be focusing on the ability of interchangeability with the United States, and they sort of sublimate and put on the back burner sovereignty issues. So people need to be focusing on this sort of propaganda warfare. What's actually going on here is an effort to wash away the sovereignty issues as much as possible and to focus on that the F-35 should be purchased and that all these other considerations are moot, and we need to defend against the Russians and the Chinese. All this is so people need to be focusing on and once you see these publications out there that are sort of not paying attention to the critical sovereignty issues, trying to put on the back burner, these publications need to be substantively, if not entirely, controlled by American interests and NORAD interests and the military-industrial complex of the United States. So that's another edition of the Ottawa Market, and we look forward to your comments below.